spilled all over my bed myself. Motherfucker.
Welcome to the first episode of Forced Watched. This is the show where we force each other to watch movies, and then we drunkenly review them. This... You okay over there?
I mean... fuck. Hold on, I got paper towels somewhere.
Just sit in your own filth.
Fuck, hold on. Oh, it's all over my computer. That thing fucking exploded. I'm gonna use my shirt as a fucking...
This is a good opening to the first episode, Chris.
Yeah, well, this is the vibe I want. This is the vibe I want for Force Watch. Force Watch, where we force each other to watch movies. And the point is, Chad is the moderator. So the first Force Watch episode is Chad forced me to watch an indie horror slasher flick called Terrifier. It came out last year? No, 2018, right?
Yeah, I actually have it all up here.
Came out in 2018. It's made by some dudes in New York. It had some porn stars in it.
Now, are they actually porn stars?
Dude, come on. No one's that hot and acts that bad and isn't a porn star. Yeah. That's another... That'll be in the positive column. Hot women. So the point of... God, it looks like I pissed myself. That's how bad it fucking exploded on me.
Alright, let me give the premise of the movie. The premise of the movie is based...
Let's make the show a little bit more.
Alright.
Okay, so the show is, me and Chad love movies, but we have drastically different ideas of what constitutes a good movie. And Chad would constantly tell me, hey, you watch this, you watch this, you watch this. And then I'd go, fuck that, you watch this, you watch this, you watch this.
We just wouldn't watch them.
We're now going to force each other to watch one movie a week. And we have to watch it. You have to watch it from start to finish, and you have to watch the entire credits, which is what I did for Terrifier.
Except with the movie you gave me, I can't just watch it on a whim. I actually got to pay attention to it, you asshole.
Yeah,
Don't say what it is.
It's like a 3-hour job.
It's 3 hours?
No, it's like 2:30. It's really good.
Can we save that for another one? Just give me like a good starter movie.
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright.
I would actually like to watch the one I recommended with you, so I can just like be like a hype man for the movie, because it's a movie from the 50s, man. It doesn't really...
It's in black and white.
But anyway, he made me watch some low-budget, B-tier movie called...
The Terrifier. It had starring Art the Clown. Possibly the coolest killer clown out there, in my opinion. You would... Huh? It's all magical and stuff, though.
It's a killer clown.
I think looking at them both, if I saw Art coming up to me opposed to it, I'd be more afraid of Art, not knowing like the magical powers and all that.
I don't know, if I was walking down the street and some clown was in the sewer and went, hey, we all float down here, I'd be like, yeah, alright, I'm calling police. You know what I mean? Like,
Then you get the drug axe being like, I'll float with you.
Yeah. It's like, yo, is that heroin? You talking heroin? You gonna get fucked up?
But I actually... Hold on, let me just say this.
Sidebar, if a clown offered you heroin, would you do it?
No.
Okay. We're different people.
But I actually talked to the dude who plays Art the Clown.
Now, I will say, the movie, literally, the movie's peak is this guy, Art. Whoever played Art. I mean, granted, it has a lot to do with his costume, but there are some scenes where it's the movements when he's not realizing he's being filmed that are the best. Like with the tricycle scene where he hits the box, and you can genuinely be like, "Oops," you know, like, are we cutting? And then the director's like, "No, keep going." Where a normal director would go, "Cut," you know, but like this guy's an amateur hack, so he's like, "Keep going, keep going, keep going." So like the actor is like, okay, and he fucking nails it. Like, he fixes himself, and he, like, the guy who played Art was pretty good.
Yeah, his name is David Howard Thornton.
He was pretty good.
And he was nice enough to give us, like, a little take on the movie. I'm gonna read...
Pat told me to watch this. I'm letting the audience
No,
know.
I didn't talk to this guy. I watched the movie first, I talked to him a long time ago. But then I asked for some input, and he wrote...
Right.
Art was created by Damien over a decade ago, the director. He said that's a better question for him, because I asked about how, like, everything was built on with Art. He said, I didn't know I would make one. I like the character, because he wasn't the original guy in the All Hallows Eve.
That's why they say introducing him in the sequel.
Yeah. So he said, I like the character, though, when I saw All Hallows Eve and jumped in the chance to play him. Life is funny that way. It takes about 3 hours of makeup to put that mask on and everything. We started filming Terrifier October of 2015 and fully wrapped in April of 2017. So it had a pretty long development cycle for such a low-budget kind of horror movie.
That's not a good sign.
He said since we decided to do some extra scenes like the decapitation and the morgue scenes.
Those scenes sucked. Chad, I'm sorry.
Let me finish what he wrote.
I know, keep shilling.
There was a night where I accidentally scared two ladies having an argument on the street outside of a window where I was getting the makeup on. That's pretty funny. They ended up calling the cops, who arrived in full riot gear, which I found out when Damien tricked me into going outside to greet them. The hacksaw scene, which we'll get into later, was done over several months in 3 different locations. One of Jenna's part, one of Catherine's part, as well as the dummy, and another Gemma's stand and some pickup shots. It was around 20 degrees Fahrenheit when we shot Catherine hanging upside down, which we shot in 30-second spurts.
Yeah, no shit, dude. It felt that way.
And swung her back up so she could rest. As part 2, it's a bigger and better... Let's start with the sequel. Part 2, it's a bigger and better than part 1. We have a fun story featuring a kick-ass protagonist that everyone will love. And there's a lot more blood and violence.
Cool. I'm glad
So,
you read that, Chad.
I thought it was pretty cool he actually reached out.
Hey guys, Terrifier is $3.99 on Amazon. Make sure you buy it.
Make sure Chad pays Chris back.
I can't hear you. Remember how we were talking earlier? If you're not speaking directly into the mic, I can't understand you.
I said I gotta make sure I pay you back.
Yeah, you better. This movie is every bit a low-budget horror movie.
It's B-movie schlock.
You know what it is? It's that kid who wears Slipknot shirts. This is like his... The whole time it felt like a fetish film to me, straight up. It just felt like someone's jerk-off fantasy about a killer clown that would dismember people. Because, like, again, not saying the performances were bad except for the killer clown, but he had no speaking roles, so it was all mimicry, it was all miming.
Well, that's what I like the best about it.
Again, when he's sitting at the table and he's giving her the dirty look, and I was like, that's cool. And when he does all the flourish upon handing her the ring, I was like, that's cool. But
You didn't like the smile. He would just like go into the faces, do like the creepy little smile.
no, I didn't like the smile.
The smile was like one of the best parts.
No, because have you ever seen the mouth of Sauron?
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it just looks like the bad CGI from the mouth of Sauron.
It wasn't CGI though. It was all practical, obviously.
I understand it was practical, but it looked like bad CGI is what I'm saying. Like, they tried to give him demon teeth, and it just didn't look good. It didn't fit. It would have been better if his teeth were just solid black, or just not show them at all.
Well, the cool thing about the director, too, the director actually does all the makeup, too.
Oh, it shows. Why does he go from being just a crazy slasher immortal clown to a cannibal? He starts eating that lady's face at the end of the movie?
He's crazy. Did he eat her face?
He wasn't crazy. He wasn't crazy because he thought to pull the gun out of his ankle and shoot himself in the head knowing he was immortal. He's not crazy.
One of my biggest complaints about the movie was the gun in general.
fucking 1911 only has 4 bullets in its fucking magazine.
He's a dumb clown who just put so many bullets in.
But he's not a dumb clown because they show him plotting. He obviously knows the layout of the building, because how does he just appear behind everyone unless he knows there's secret passages? Which is why in Friday the 13th, Jason is so fucking scary, because he knows all the secret passages.
Yeah. But there's also... He supposedly dies in All Hallows Eve. And he supposedly dies in this. So there's the whole thing...
we all saw the beginning of the movie.
There's the whole thing where he's like... kind of like a demon thing, like just comes back to life after he dies and all that.
They don't even touch upon the demonic entity thing.
Well, that's why I'm hoping in the sequel they'll have a little more money.
In the beginning of the movie, they show a regular guy putting on makeup.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so he's a regular guy, and then they cut later where he gets fucking stabbed right here. You get stabbed here, you die in 10 minutes because there's a fucking femoral artery or whatever it's called. You bleed out, you fucking die. Alright, and then he keeps moving. He stabs the goth chick in her Achilles tendon, man. You die in like 20 minutes, you know? Like, and I know that's me harping on logic in movies, and movies aren't supposed to have logic. But
suspension of disbelief. You have a suspension of disbelief.
Okay, remember the scene in Maniac where he's laying under the car and he slashes her Achilles tendon and she falls to the ground and screams in pain and bleeds to death?
I didn't watch Maniac.
You haven't seen the remake of Maniac?
Is that with Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
That should be the one you make me watch.
That movie's fucking stupid good. It for a first-person horror movie, like, what? That shouldn't work. First person from the killer's point of view, that shouldn't work, but it does. The Brad character, I like the hero, quote unquote, the bug disposal guy. He was pretty cool. But again, like, he has the horror trope of music in, I can't hear you. Hey buddy, what are you doing here? Hit to the head. You know, like, then there was the sister. She calls the sister when the tires are slashed.
Yeah. And
sister goes, hey sis, I'm in college. I'm doing college stuff. I'm smart. I can't pick you up 'cause college. And then drunk fat roommate busts through the door and she goes, hey sis, looks like I got some time. And it's just like, fuck you, dude. Who the fuck wrote that scene? Also calling your main character for the first half of the movie Tara, like, I don't know, man. It felt like something someone was typing just to type. Again, the actors were great. I'm putting this all on the director, writer, and editor.
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted, Chad? I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to shit hard on this, but I really didn't like this movie.
See, I look at this movie as just like, now you're going to say it wasn't fun. But that's just because we have different tastes and different horror. I'm more of a horror fan than you. You like more of like the well put together.
I like drama. I love to cry.
Yeah. Well, I find this movie is a good like escape movie, if that makes sense. So basically, like, you put this movie on, you don't need to super pay attention to it. They have these really cool scenes, and it's enjoyable.
Can you tell me one really cool scene from this movie?
You don't like it, but I like the pizza shop scene with the the head lantern.
Okay, tell yours first because you're for and I'm against, so you go first.
See, the pizza shop scene was awesome in general because you have the two girls sitting there, then you have Art who just walks in with his little trash bag. Which I do agree with the trash bag. We'll get to that when you talk about it, you can get to it. I'm just saying I agree. Don't give me that. I'm saying I agree with everything he's going to say about the trash bag. But
I was going to talk about the clown being named Art, because never once did they tell us his name was Art.
Yeah.
Never once did they tell us his name is Art.
I can't remember. I haven't seen All Hallows Eve in a while, but I think that's more of an All Hallows Eve thing.
Doesn't matter. We came in on the sequel. You need to tell a new audience what's going on.
Alright, well, shush. Back to the pizza shop scene. he walks in and immediately like that girl gets like the uncomfortable feeling, and he's just staring at. I love the ring scene too, where he like takes the quarter off the table.
Because that dude playing the clown was fucking awesome. He was really good at playing like he's no speaking part, but he was very good with his body. You know.
So do you feel like if there was a better writer, better director, Art the Clown could work better?
If it wasn't about a killer clown, and it was just about a weird, like, autistic mute that would skin women alive, and it started art or something.
So would you want more of a stalker movie, where he just stalks somebody?
Yes. Yeah. Because they set it up like it's a stalker movie, but then it just turns into bullshit clown killer movie. The guy, again, my greatest takeaway from this movie is the dude playing the slasher, pretty good.
No, you didn't like the poop?
I thought that scene was fucking retarded, because also I didn't know the clown's name was Art. So I see shit on the wall with art smeared in it, and I'm like, wow, dude, what are we at, RISD? Like, oh...
I will admit, if they had that scene without writing art on the wall with the poop, it might have been a little better.
It might have been a little better. If there was poop with, like, blood. So you're just
no,
like,
I was just gonna say, like, don't even put poop. Just put blood on the wall, so they don't even know where it came from.
Blood would be too on the nose. If it was like he was shitting blood and it sprayed all over the place, I'd be like, what the fuck? And that would warrant the fucking pizza man to be like, hey, I don't eat enough. You know, if there was bloody shit all over the place.
That guy was perfect generic pizza man. Perfect generic pizza man.
Can we talk about his death scene?
You didn't like the head lantern?
I thought that was dumb as shit.
I love that. Right when they shot the they should have just left it right at the quick cut of shooting the head down.
That's why I hate it.
Yeah. You can give your take on it now.
I think in slasher flicks, less is more. And this goes back to my feeling on Jackie Chan. You don't want to show too much of the punch, because if you show too much, people see, you know, the gap. They see the gap between impact and blow, you know? So what you want to do is just show him so that, like, the pizza man reaches for the phone, and the knife comes down and cuts his fingers, and his fingers separate, and it's fucking super brutal. And you're like, holy shit. And then it quick cuts to his head, where he's getting stabbed in the side of the head with a knife, and you're like, yo, this is brutal. Then it quick cuts to the head of lantern, and the head of lantern's on fire, and you're like, what the fuck? And then quick cuts back to him going, and you're just like, alright, all momentum's ruined. He's stabbing him 30, 40 times. I didn't need to see that.
Well, that's a theme that the movie goes on. He's going for more the ultra-violence route, opposed to, like, what you want is the more, like, kind of elegant violence, where it's just, like, it's there, you know it's there, but it's not thrown down your throat, or forced down your throat.
In my opinion, is more violent than a strangling. Yeah. So stab someone in the head a bunch of times, and we don't even really, like, it was a bad special effect, I'm just gonna say it. It's just like, if you just did the slice, stab, you know, it's just like, whoa, it's visceral. Like, it kicks you in the balls, you know? You're just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's also more of the badass killer thing, too. Because when the killer goes crazy and just constantly just keeps stabbing the body, it kind of looks petty and makes him look weak.
Exactly. It becomes just the effect wears off. You don't want to, when you look at a painting, you start to see the flaws. You know, you start to see what the painter fucked up. Whereas if you were just walking by it, you'd be like, whoa, that's cool, and just keep moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand everything you're saying. Like, I have a lot of the little tropes you have with the movie, I have too.
Yeah.
But I still feel like this is a movie people should watch. And I'm excited for the sequel, because if they listen to people like us talking about it...
They won't. They listen to did you see the credit scene where they showed the 40s to 100 people who backed it monetarily?
Yeah. The Indiegogo.
Are you willing to throw money down on this?
I would give them $10.
I mean, I wish they would do something cool. The fact that it begins with the lady with the disfigured face killing the news interviewer.
When you told me
with the lady with the disfigured face,
that didn't need to be in the movie. When you told me like 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the movie that you didn't like it, and that's exactly the amount of time that lady was in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That's why I told you, I'm like, when you have the two girls talking right there, don't even worry about that.
And you know what? Then it cut to two even more annoying girls talking. You know what I mean? Like, and then the violence starts, but the violence, like, it loses its impact because they linger too long. Like the clown when he drove the car through the wall, that chick was clearly out of the way, but then it cuts to her on the ground, and I was like, ooh, that's some poor editing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can forget that because I'm not going to pretend I can do better. But then he starts eating her, and it's like, dude, never once in your established lore arc, you're a sadist, not a cannibal. That's why you have your trash bag full of tools.
I can't remember what I was going to say because you just distracted me with what you were going to say. Keep going, sorry.
No, I ended it with trash bag full of tools.
I got it. I feel like it should definitely be more of like a stalker character piece where you just have this dude just terrorizing this girl, and people that get in the way, you could have like the cool kills.
Yeah.
And just wait till the
Roach Bro would have made way more sense if it was a stalker flick, not a slasher flick.
Yeah.
Because there's the scene where they're in the car, and he's just like looking at them, and you're like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, you know? But then he goes to the pizza place and he murders those people. The fact that he kills those people and he has the cops on him at the beginning of the movie, and that's in the first 20 minutes. And you're like, well, wait, the cops didn't show up for 40 minutes.
That was also a big like flaw in the movie. The cops get called twice. And they never showed up until like the very end.
My dad's a retired cop. I understand how law enforcement's work.
If there was a killer clown on the loose, they'd be there immediately.
All that there's a fucking killer clown on the loose, you were showing up there guns blazing. You know what I mean? Like,
especially if it's like North Kingstown where these people have pot. We're there.
Oh, we're gonna fucking kill that kid and possibly shoot two others, and then I'm gonna shoot my own friend. Yeah. Like, and okay, another positive of this movie is they definitely had one set and they fucking worked it to the fucking bone.
Yeah.
They had that one abandoned building to film in, and I've done this before where you go to one location, but you shoot the location at multiple different angles to create different locations. I really enjoyed that.
Well,
like you had the basement, you had the office sector, you had the stairwell, you had the I guess the maintenance shaft, and they would shoot them from different angles with different lighting, and I was like, yo, that's some good shit. Good job on that.
See,
really shoot.
Do you think the guy's a better director than writer?
No. I think the guy is I can't even say director of photography, because a lot of his shots were just, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the way it was filmed, they were trying to make it like a B horror movie, which that can help a movie or that can hurt a movie.
Okay. So here's my biggest complaint about people who do that. The best B horror movies are people who film them trying to make A's. If you go in trying to make a B, you're going to make an F. But if you go in trying to make the best movie you possibly make, who cares what anyone fucking thinks? It'll be a great movie.
That's why Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 are probably my favorite movies. Because
that
was filmed in one location. They had the woods around it. Well, technically it was different cabins for the thing, but whatever. Read If Chins Could Kill by Bruce Campbell. You'll know the whole story about Evil Dead. I want to do a video on Evil Dead soon. But
100%. See, can I just bring up a parallel? You have Evil Dead, which is a bunch of friends making a horror movie. Then you have Terrifier. What's better?
Obviously Evil Dead.
I'm just saying, man, like, they probably did it for a comparable budget with the same amount of skill.
Evil Dead probably had less of a budget, to be honest.
A better budget?
A less budget. Less money.
Yeah, definitely a less budget. But...
No, but that's masterclass filmmaking on one location. And pulling out the characters, seeing what you could pull out of the actors and everything. Instead
I made a movie called Sleepy Sasha, and I filmed it in one apartment complex, in 2 apartments, but I made it look like 7 different apartments, just based off angles.
Yeah. And that's why when I finish writing my movie, you're gonna help direct it.
I'm a way better director than I am an actor, and that's just me jerking myself
off. I don't want
off.
you to act in my movie. I want you to help direct it.
You suck at acting, so you're not acting in it.
I'm the main character.
I don't want that. Remember our Corona video? How I got really mad at you because you couldn't act?
I was also wasted.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, back to this movie. Little inside baseball right there. No, I wasn't actually mad at you. It was a joke.
You're so mean.
I love you. You're my best friend. Right? What was I going to say? Yeah, art was pretty good.
I feel like he carried the movie. Any scene he was in was good. When it got to the 2 girls, it got a little cringeworthy with the dialogue and everything.
Because they're just porn stars, or they're strippers.
Do you think this movie would have been better if it was in black and white?
No, because part of Art's charm is seeing the blood on his costume.
Do you think they could have done a cool Kill Bill thing and just had black and white, but have Art be in full color?
No, because okay, so Art in black and white with the blood on him would kind of look like a fucked up Pagliacci, you know?
Mm.
But the other characters, they wouldn't have looked as, because they don't know, you know, like how do you show terror? Now do that in black and white, it wouldn't look good. You know what I mean?
You can't say that, because Night of the Living Dead, the terror in their face was good.
But Night of the Living Dead is people who are traditionally trained play actors who have to emote over the top. You know what I'm saying? So you cut it in black and white, you get the shadow right, it's fucking perfect. Art, I would like to say, I know nothing about the person who played him, but I feel like he's a theater kid. So he gets how to, you know, like he gets it, you know?
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
He was the only positive note in that movie, and I could tell, or I inferred, that if the writing, if the script and the direction was better, he could have
excelled.
Yeah. Because, like, you're looking at him with this bad script, this bad dialogue, this bad plot, this bad lighting, these bad settings, this bad motivation, just terrible everything. And he's so good.
Now, what'd you think of the hacksaw scene?
I've seen it before.
On what?
Borgia, Bone Tomahawk, an episode of X-Files.
Where they cut down the middle like that?
Yeah.
In that gory detail, though?
Dude, in Borgia, they tie up a heretic by his feet, and then 2 dudes take like a log saw, and they saw him in half real slow the entire way down.
Now, is that a foreign movie or is that an American movie?
Borgia is, I recommend the BBC version of Borgia. It's a TV show. It's really fucking good. And they also show the Pope's pear, which is like something fist size that they shove up your ass and they crank and it expands and basically blows your hips apart to kill you. Yeah, Borgia is awesome. And then in Bone Tomahawk, which is done by the guy who did Attack on Cell Block 99 and Drive Across Concrete, they do a scene where 2, they call them troglodytes, which are like Neanderthals, hold a guy up by his ankles while another grabs just a sharp piece of something and saws him in half like that, while every other character watches him and screams in terror.
Now, is that the Mel Gibson movie?
No, that's the, who was in the thing? Kurt Russell. That's Kurt Russell.
Oh, is it the Western movie?
Yeah, you need to watch that movie. It's so fucking brutal and good.
You're gonna go a little babishka lady when you do that with your hair. You're gonna go a babishka lady, like one of those little gypsy ladies.
Yeah, I can carry the logs on my back. When I do that. That scene has an amazing hand-chopping scene on par with Terrifiers. Like, it's really good. Like, a guy reaches for a gun, and you just see a piece of metal just go clink and cut all his fingers off.
Do you want that to be my Force watch?
Terrifier, where he reaches for the phone, and you just see the piece of metal go clink and cut all his fingers off. Like, that's such a good scene. But then they drag it out in Terrifier.
So, what would your advice to the director and writer? Obviously, he's the same guy, but what would your advice for him on the sequel?
Brevity is the soul of wit. William Shakespeare. AKA, less is more. Less is more. You don't see the shark in Jaws, and it's a terrifying movie. The Thing, you don't really know who's the villain, but it's terrifying.
So that's, like, I want to go back to Evil Dead. Less is more, but in Evil Dead, they throw everything in your face.
Exactly, but
it's done well.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Dead, dude. You can't compare a movie to Evil Dead. That's unfair.
Yeah.
It was too good. You know, it was too good.
I just love how a B horror movie has like 100%, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes and all that.
I would consider the movie Annihilation a B horror movie.
Really?
With Natalie Portman and stuff.
I still have to watch that. I was drunk when I watched it last time.
But, like, less is more.
Mm.
The whole point of the horror is just like, whoa, spooky shit's all around us, I'm scared. Okay, so what they needed to do with this movie is they needed to focus 100% on art or 100% on the victims. The way they dip back, and I just hate the fact that they start the movie with the lady who survived it killing the chick. It's just like...
Yeah.
When I sent you that text, I knew how the movie was ending.
Well, the problem with that is it's two separate movies at that point. Like, the tone's different. Like, it's just... I didn't like how they had that. It just throws you out of the... And then the end, it should have ended. Why do you have to have the lady in the wheelchair with the father, like, wheeling her out and everything? Like,
well, because she was the one getting interviewed, remember?
No, but I'm saying you don't need to have that in the movie.
Oh, you know what scene I like? Is when that chick climbs through the cheap outdoor and Art just sticks the clown horn in and goes...
Yeah.
I was like, I like that. That scene was pretty funny.
Well, everything with Art was good.
No, not everything.
Well, you just don't like the exaggeration of the kills.
What about the scene where he cuts the chick's tits off?
You didn't like that?
No, I thought that was stupid.
You just don't like that whole...
That chick there in the first place.
Yeah.
We just had the crazy lady to have a crazy lady in a movie.
That whole arc of that character was definitely unnecessary.
Stupid.
I feel like that was more to get screen time up and have, like, different characters in the movie.
I feel like that was someone's mom. And they're like, yeah, Mom, we'll put you in the movie if you give us $500.
Well, you didn't like Art walking around with the tuck with boobs?
I was like, what's...
Then he gets his clothes on super fast to go back.
He's supposed to be in the clown costume. Why the fuck did he have tits?
Yeah. I feel like that's more... Go, sorry.
The scary part about his costume is solid white on this side getting covered in blood, and the solid black just being black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, blood, nothing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, I feel like the trap they fell in with this movie is there's a lot of, like, horror fans are weird. You have, like, normal horror fans that just, like, they like the blood and gore and all that, but they're not, like, obsessed with it. then you have the people that are like super intense, super crazy about it. And I feel like that's where the director might lean. So everything just has to be super violent, just for the fact of being violent.
I feel like the director saw the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and went, "Oh, I can do that."
See, I never liked Texas Chainsaw.
I like the original for what it is. I'm not gonna say it's a good movie, but the scene where he fucking cracks the dude in the head and pulls the door and it slams down shut is like 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, when you see it.
You can talk about that movie, and that movie is just a fine collection of kills.
Yeah.
And
what
kind of
this movie
spooky.
tried to do. However, whoever wrote, directed, and was in charge of the camp. I hate that I'm hating on this dude, because I know if he watched anything I made, he'd rip me apart, because I guarantee he's a better filmmaker than me. But, like, come on, man, like, you were editing this movie, and you thought it was okay? You know what I mean? Like, that's my biggest takeaway. It had a lot of potential.
Well, I'm really hoping, like we said before, you said probably not. I'm hoping that he grows in the second movie, where when they up the gore, up the violence, like he said they were gonna.
No.
Just do it in a more subtle way.
No. The gore and the violence are what ruined this movie.
Mm.
Straight up, dude, the ankle stabbing scene. All you need to do is show her get stabbed once in the ankle to know what's going on. Just show that one, just boom, with like a screwdriver, like a blunt object, or like a broken bottle, just so you know, like, oh fuck, she's fucked, and then she could kick him in the head and run away.
So you think?
Then,
Go. We have like a 2-second delay, so if you see me interrupting him all the time, it's because of that.
I've been dealing with it all night. All right, Chad, what's worse? I know. What's worse? Watching someone get stabbed once and just going like, ugh, or watching someone...
Well, that's why a lot of it, I feel like, is shock value.
But,
see, I feel like the way I feel like they should have done it is maybe stab him once or twice, then have the camera pan back and see how both characters are reacting to the kill. Instead of just having like stab, then it goes away.
You have to watch the ankle slashing scene in Maniac to understand what I'm saying.
I did. It's at the beginning. It's at the exact beginning, isn't it?
What?
It's at the beginning of the movie, right?
I want to say it's like 20 minutes in. It's when he's trying to kill the chick in the parking lot.
I think I watched like 10 to 20 minutes of it and was like, I'm not in the mood for this movie.
Did you get to the parking lot?
I don't remember. I just remember ankles getting slit, and I was like, I'm not into this right now.
Fuck. Okay, so I need to like clean up. So can we pause and me take a piss?
All right, we're back from our pee breaks. We apologize. We have small bladders.
I had to clean up. I spilled beer all over myself. I wish you guys could see. It's pretty pathetic.
But we're gonna give our final thoughts on the movie. I'll let you. Actually, let me go first actually, you can go first.
No, Chad, you go first because you recommended this to me.
All right. So the main reason I wanted him to watch this movie is because if you like gritty B horror movies, chances are you're gonna like this movie a lot. And I see you shaking your head.
I know. I actually had a twitch, but whatever.
The kills, while they are very like, I do love the little, when he makes like the little whip out of like the fucking what are they called? The X-Acto knife things.
No, it was a pair of scissors broken in half and then tied straight.
No, he got like the needle, he used like the scalpel and took the top off and drilled holes in it.
Scissors.
They show him making it. They show him making it at the beginning. The scalpel whip.
No, it wasn't a scalpel whip. It was scissors.
All right, whatever. I like the cool like kills and all that. Should he have toned them down? Yes. Should they leave a little more to the imagination on a lot of the kills? And leave a little more for you to think about it? Yeah. But overall, it's a fun movie if you like crazy killer clowns.
Killer Towns?
Killer clowns with a K?
You said Killer Towns with a T.
I guarantee you, all those fucking shitty juggalos are like jerking off to this movie.
You just gave me a new perspective on the movie. This is definitely some fucking juggalos wet dream. It's almost like a clown killing people. He even uses a hatchet. Oh my god! Was the film written and directed by a juggalo?
I don't know. But overall, I do like this movie. It's not perfect. It's definitely a fun movie to watch on Halloween when you're in the mood for horror movies. I give it probably like a 7.8, maybe, if we were going to rate it like that. Did I just blow your mind with the juggalos?
Because, like, remember the part where they show the dead body with the fucking ironwork that says circus? I was like, that's gay as fuck, but when you look at it with the juggalo, you're like, oh, juggalo, and he writes his name in shit art.
It's definitely a juggalo thing.
Dude, what if there was a clown named Art? You know, like that's definitely something a juggalo would think of. Holy shit.
But my last thing I'm going to say about this movie is, dude who plays Art definitely deserves a better script.
I could see him playing a CGI monster. And I don't mean that as an insult.
So you think he could be more of an Andy Serkis?
Lord of the Rings is amazing.
Andy Serkis
is amazing. I could totally see him playing some sort of role where you need to be very animated. I could see him doing that.
Yeah. What are your final thoughts?
His whole role was body language. And he did a really good job. I really liked him. And I feel like if he had a different director, he could have excelled. Also, director, if you are a juggalo and I did offend you and you want to fight, it has to be cliffside at sundown. So, there's my final thoughts, man. I will fight the director cliffside at sundown.
So would you recommend this movie as a fun Halloween watch?
Sorry. No.
Not even as a fun Halloween watch where you're trying to, like, binge through a bunch of horror movies?
For my friends who were like I used to date this girl who would take like black, eye makeup and just do that. Like I would recommend that to her. But everyone else, no. So
this isn't a movie you'd sit down with your mom and watch?
Yes, but we both laugh at it. I'm sorry. Me and my mom have the same taste in movies.
That was more of an inside joke, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I love them.
But there you have it. I recommend it as a fun movie to watch with your friends and just laugh at the kills, admire the acting of the main Art the Clown.
How many kills were there?
Huh?
How many kills were there? Main pizza guy, second pizza guy, blonde girl, goth girl, crazy lady, bug bomb guy's friend.
That's a lot of kills considering it was only shot in like one area.
And then coronary guy, so 9 kills. But not a single kill is memorable.
The hacksaw one's memorable.
But I've seen it before.
Look up David Howard Thornton on Instagram and tell him we said hi. Because he's a cool dude.
No.
Do it.
This video, just hear us talking shit.
We praised him.
That's bad, Chad. That's bad. Don't do that.
But thanks for watching.
You're breaking up super hard, man.
Thanks for watching our first episode of...
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm ending it.
Whoa. Oh, you're ending it? Can you take the ending one more time?
Thanks for watching our first episode of Forced Watch. There'll be many more.
I want a little speech. Can I do a little speech?
Okay, I'm going to point you back at the camera.
Yeah. Okay, so, you might have noticed that I shit talk a movie Chad likes. That's the fucking point of Forced Watch, is we're going to shit talk movies the other person likes. So, if you identify with Chad more, watch this movie. If you like me more, don't watch this movie. Otherwise, form your own fucking opinion. Force Watch.